Here are some updates in the world of drawing tablets. I wanted to explore some things that were going on and provide some commentary. Wacom released the Wacom Movink, also called the Movink 13, about a week ago. I've had a unit for about 4 days, and I'm quite enjoying it. It will take time for me to evaluate it thoroughly, so in the meanwhile, here are a few facts and some of my initial impressions. This is the first OLED pen display ever. The panel looks good. It's only HD though, so only 1920 by 1080. Wacom emphasizes that this tablet is ideal for using a pen display on the go in mobile scenarios. And the form factor really speaks to that. It's super thin. It's got kind of a wedge shape. At the top, it's about 6.6 millimeters thick, and at the bottom, it's about 4 millimeters thick. And it doesn't weigh much. It's only about 420 grams. That is much lighter than any of Wacom's pen displays. In fact, it is lighter than almost every pen tablet Wacom makes. And really, these numbers don't do the product justice. And after playing with it, I can definitely see why Wacom stresses the portability. As for pens, it comes with the Wacom Pro Pen 3. More specifically, this is a special edition of the Pro Pen 3. This version works exactly the same as the normal Pro Pen 3. It has the same pressure response, the same initial activation force, and maximum pressure. However, there is a difference. The normal Pro Pen 3 lets you adjust the weight distribution using a metal rod. But in this special edition, inside the pen is a nib holder that holds 3 nibs. And there is something really interesting about pen compatibility. This tablet is compatible with Wacom's professional pens, obviously the Pro Pen 3. It also works with the Pro Pen 2. I even tested it with the Art Pen. And here's the surprise. This tablet is compatible with some of Wacom's consumer pens. So with this tablet, for example, you can use the pens that come with the Wacom HUON tablets, either Gen 1 or Gen 2. You can even use a Samsung S Pen with this tablet. I tried several pens that came with my Galaxy Tab S series tablets, and they all work. Even the S Pen that comes with the Samsung S24 Ultra phone works with this tablet. Some of you at this point are probably thinking, hey, now this is a chance to use some lower cost pens with this tablet. However, I want you to temper your expectations a little bit. Strokes look great with the professional pens, as you would expect. However, with the consumer pens, the way the pressure works does not result in as good strokes. And it's very obvious. You've probably heard me talk about pressure instability, and I see a lot of that with the consumer pens when used with this device. Now that may not matter depending on what you're doing with the tablet, but especially if you're drawing, being creative, it is something you should be aware of. The Movink 13 is priced at around $750 US. And I'm not saying $750 is inexpensive, but honestly, it is very surprising given how expensive the latest Cintiq Pro models are. As always with new products, I encourage you to wait before you purchase one. And especially since this is the first time we have an OLED panel, you might want to wait for long-term reviews, something where someone's used the tablet for 6 months to a year. I am doing my technical evaluation now, and I will publish that fully later this year. If you want to, you can see the notes that I've taken so far. The link is in the video description. Please send me any questions you have or things you'd like me to try. Sense Labs has tweeted out a couple of times that they are releasing a new 16-inch pen display. It looks like they'll release it on May the 8th, so we only have a few days to wait. There is a photo in one of their tweets, and it does look like a very thin pen display. There are no other details about this tablet except its size, so we don't know if it is using an IPS panel or an OLED display. Once it is available for purchase, I will buy one and have a look at it and share my thoughts. Overall, I'm happy that Sense Labs is releasing this tablet because it does fill in an important gap in their product portfolio. For the last month or so, users of Huion tablets on Windows 11 have been reporting a certain kind of problem. They are suddenly experiencing some extreme freezing or lagging with their drawing tablets. Freezing and lagging can happen for all sorts of reasons, but in the last month, I've seen a big uptick in these reports. And it does seem like there's something specific going on, at least in some cases. I'm the mod of the Huion subreddit, so I've placed a pinned post at the top. This post describes the problem with some possible solutions. So if you are experiencing these problems, a sudden change in freezing and lagging, please check out that pinned post. The link is in the video description. I'll briefly summarize what we believe the cause is. And again, this does not affect everybody, but it certainly has affected some people. Windows 11 introduced very recently a feature called dynamic lighting. It is apparently supposed to give Windows some native control over RGB lighting. And this is implemented in something called the lamp array service. In any case, the introduction of this dynamic lighting feature seems to be affecting a lot of input devices, and among them, Huion drawing tablets. I don't think the fault here lies with Huion at all. I think it is some combination of Windows 11 and maybe some other software that may interact with RGB lighting, and somehow it seems to affect the Huion driver. If you are experiencing these problems, please check out that pinned post. Procreate is the most popular painting and drawing application on iPads, and it is unique to iPads. You can't get it on macOS desktops or on Windows. But there is some potentially interesting news here for Procreate users. There was a very recent Twitter thread where the CEO of Procreate said that they are evaluating bringing Procreate to the desktop. By desktop, he later clarified in the thread that he meant macOS. And of course, with communication like this, you have to understand, he is clear he is not committing to releasing a desktop version. But this has been a very popular ask in the Procreate community, so I'm very happy that they might be addressing this. Two things I think about here. First is the drawing experience. The Apple Pencil, especially the Apple Pencil 2, when used on an iPad, has very low latency and incredibly little pointer lag. And this really shows up when you draw with Procreate. It's a very fast and fluid experience. If Procreate ends up running on the desktop, you're going to presumably have to use a drawing tablet with it. Pen tablets, which don't have a screen, have very low latency and extremely low pointer lag. So in those cases, I think the experience will be fast and responsive. Pen displays, though, which do have a screen, they tend to show very obvious latency and pointer lag. So having a desktop version of Procreate is not going to just fix that. Or at least, it is not obvious that it would be able to fix that. And the second thing I think about are the drawing tablet features. The iPad and the Apple Pencil have a certain set of features, but drawing tablets have their own set of features. That includes things like some pens have buttons, sometimes one button, often two, some even have three. And then of course we have the pens with the erasers on the end. The tablets themselves can have buttons and dials. I think if you want a great experience on desktop, Procreate will need to take advantage of these features. That wraps it up for this edition of Drawing Tablet News. Thanks for your time, and I hope you enjoyed this video.